Getting those sweet double experience gains are always beautiful to get. But at least in my opinion, it gets boring real quick and you kind of feel forced to play every 3 months, or you're kind of like preparing yourself to play then. But what if we had more spread out events over the year with different kind of effects for different skills and different activities in RuneScape? Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Sellout and today we're going to be talking about the idea of different kind of skilling activities or different kind of like speciality weeks that are not double experience but that are kind of like focused, like the War's Reckoning event that we had earlier this year, which I'll go over in a little bit as well to just explain and kind of like fresh up your mind if you kind of forgot what it was about, but kind of also looking at how it could work for like gathering skills, for example, or you know, for clue scrolls or even mini games, like different kind of activities in RuneScape to kind of have you do them and kind of give you extra benefits of doing them. But before we get into it, yes, I'm going to do the usual sellout, but I'm actually gonna, you know, say something different. So if you usually skip through it, haha, shame on you. If you comment banana bread, I will be giving away 2 bonds when we hit the 1k subscriber mark. So just comment banana bread on this video. I'm probably going to be confused when I upload this and be like, why is everyone commenting banana bread? But yeah, I kind of just talked to a few YouTubers and they said, dude, you could always do that. And I kind of just want to thank you guys as well, because really, without you guys, I don't think that I would have done this YouTube thing, because as I said before, I kind of did this as a promotional thing for my Twitch, and it kind of evolved into something that I kind of just do now, and I really enjoy doing. And it's all because of you, all the interactions, all the discussions, and even if we don't agree in the comment section down below, you guys are still always keeping it civil and kind of raising different perspectives and like different arguments, and I really love that. So as a thank you, I just want to be giving away 2 bonds. So just comment banana bread on this video, and I will be getting one of those randomizers out as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, and you know, get you guys picked, or well, 2 winners picked for a bond giveaway on RuneScape, and I will be posting screenshots on the community tab to verify that I actually did it and not it's just not a scam. So yeah, just comment banana bread. As I said, if you're going to enjoy this video, leave a like as well. Obviously subscribe, because we are going for that 1,000 subscriber goal. We're really going to make a push for it, and definitely join in still with the comment section down below, just with the discussions. I will read past the banana bread. You can even comment banana bread, enter, and then do the normal comment that you were going to post. But I'm rambling too much anyway, so let's go into this video. So as I said, I'm going to refresh you guys first on the War's Reckoning event, which was before double XP. Like, it was literally like 1 week or like a week and a half before the previous double experience week, and it got even into the double experience week, which I don't understand. Like, dude, just have these separately. But it was pretty much a Slayer week where we had these benefits. We had safe deaths, dying outside the wilderness causes the player to respawn at the hub they last visited without losing any items, not available for hardcore Iron Man modes, and free-to-play players, which obviously pretty much means free deaths, which is always nice. I love the free deaths event, and that is something they really need to stick to, because I think those events are really good for new people to learn new bosses, or just even experienced players that kind of like are scared to learn a boss to, you know, go head in first to a boss and not have to worry about either bringing the Ring of Death or worrying about death cost in general. It also would give you double Slayer points and double Reaper points. Marks of War cooldown reduced from 60 minutes to 30 minutes. Charge back drain rate reduced to 50%, increased chance to receive a drop from rare drop table, and obviously the Elder Overload Golems. In general, I think these events are sick, because this is an amazing place to train Slayer. And obviously, training Slayer in double experience would still be better, because even though you get 50% Slayer experience, like extra experience during this event, it's obviously not 100% extra, which you would normally get during double experience, but I think the combination of double Slayer points and double like 50% extra Slayer experience, it really adds in a way where you can kind of just, you know, skip a lot of the bad task and just focus on the good experience tasks, because, you know, you pretty much get 1 free skip if you use Lanikia for your Slayer task. Every single time you do a task, you literally just get 1 free skip, so you can always like focus on the good experience tasks, and I think that will like balance out of double experience, because even during double experience, unless you stacked up a lot of points beforehand, you also sometimes have to do these bad tasks, and if you cannot pause your time, you're kind of like wasting experience in a way. But in general, I just think it's really good, because it kind of gives that like little spice up of, you know, oh wait, around this War's Reckoning event, I can just, you know, I have like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks or something, where I can just like chill and just do some Slayer, not having to worry about a timer, not having to worry about, oh, I kind of want to do multiple skills during double experience. You could just only do one skill, which is Slayer, which I think is really, really nice and a really good way to just go about like your Slayer training and just in general. And it kind of got me thinking, like, yes, I personally think that bonus experience or double experience weekends or whatever you want to call them are very boring. And I made a video of we need 4 and why I think we do need 4, because obviously I still do agree with it, because in the end of the day we all just want to get to the good content as fast as possible. So if you're interested in the video, I'll probably add in a card somewhere in the top right now. But I still think it's a good thing, but I still think we can like spice it up a little bit throughout the year as well. But like these events that are not as good as double experience with like 50% increases, but kind of encourage you to do something else than, you know, whatever is available on double experience for you to train when it comes to your skills if you're still maxing, or just in general when you might be maxing, you might be going for 120s or whatever, but, you know, get extra benefits because, you know, getting extra Slayer points might allow you to buy your shop teas that you need for your trim completionist requirement, or, you know, get the Slayer points needed to buy everything from the shop, which is also a trim completionist requirement. The same goes for Reaper points, which obviously is a moneymaker for Hydrixes, and it's just a good thing even if you're not looking for experience. Obviously the charge rate reduction and the free deaths are always nice for people, and even so, the increased chance of receiving something from the rare drop, which is the rare drop table, and that doesn't mean, for example, Torfa items at next, but, you know, even though you can, like, that kind of leads me into, like, events that we could do, is have an increased, like, percentage, like how we had with the Elder Godwars dungeon when it first came out, with the, like, the heads fragment, or whatever the thing it was called, where you put it in your pocket slot, which obviously it's a sacrifice that you have to make, because you could not be you could not wear a god book, for example, at that point, but you get like, I think it was like 10% increased drop rate at Elder Godwars dungeon. What if we get something like that, like an event like that lasts like maybe 1 or 2 weeks, that allows you to use that for every single boss, and maybe even make it so it cycles between bosses every single day, kind of like how we had that free death event week, where 1 week you had free deaths here, 1 week you had free deaths there, for example at God Dungeon 1, and then the next week it's God Dungeon 2. So maybe what if we have something like that, but then with drop rate increases, because then everyone would go do those bosses, because, you know, you can have a higher chance of maybe finishing your collection log, or finishing your or just getting some extra money. Obviously, those prices will go down, which kind of also makes it a lot nicer for people who just have money sitting around, because then you have a chance of buying the supplies on a bit of a low and get into PVM yourself, because those prices will go up anyway at some point after that event. And maybe they shouldn't do it for all the bosses, and maybe pick and choose some bosses that kind of have like ridiculously high prices and that kind of need to go down. But in general, I think that would be a great thing, where we just have this one event that kind of like helps you get some extra drops at like certain bosses, or maybe even all bosses, to just encourage people to boss and to get some money things. But you can even get that to skilling. Like, what if we had a skilling event, a skilling week, where we had 50% increased experience, as I said, not as good as bonus double experience, but maybe even add in like a 20% success rate for like all the gathering skills. So you have a 20% higher chance of getting that fish, cutting that tree, or, you know, mining that rock. And maybe even add a percentage. I wrote down 50% more resources, but I think that would be a little bit too powerful. But even like 20% more resources for when you are gathering and training. So in general, that would obviously add up to, so for example, you get 20% more resources, but you're not getting the experience for it. So you kind of have a higher chance of getting like a double rock proc or a triple rock proc or whatever whenever you're using bosses. Boost, kind of like how you currently are able to use boost like a Nora or the Juju Mining Potion, where you have a chance of getting like a double rate or a double drop from a rock instead of one. Maybe you get like, with 50% more resource, you get another like 50% on top of that just for free without having to use boost. And kind of encourage people to skill and actually gather some skilling items. And as I said, maybe you could even specify, just like how you did with how I mentioned that with bosses, where, you know, one day or like a couple of days or 1 week or however long you want to do it, it's only on mining and only on woodcutting the next week, or only on runecrafting. Like, imagine if it's on runecrafting and you get like 50% extra runes. That means that the rune price would go down, and that would help PVM, for example. They kind of can like push their agenda, what they want with the economy, but still have it within the community to actually, you know, work with the community on the economy, but Also look at where it's actually needed and not devalue things and make certain things like stupidly, ridiculously cheap. But if you look at woodcutting, for example, I think a willow log is like 300 GP or something stupid like that, or 400 GP. It should not be that high, in my opinion. I mean, you could say it's a good money maker for low levels, and it is, and obviously inflation, etc., etc. But at the same time, like, it could be a little bit lower. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's something you could do for skilling, but you can even do it for other things like clues and minigames. Obviously, I love clue scrolls, and I think I want to end on that, but minigame weeks have been a thing in the past. But maybe even encourage it more with increased experience with the minigames and increased rewards, and not just like 50%, but like double rewards, maybe even triple rewards. So people are going back to those minigames, and maybe it can revitalize some of these minigames as well, and maybe it can give them some balancing ideas as well. Like maybe if they do a week where you have triple minigame rewards. So for example, you can also do it where you have double minigame rewards, but the minigame that's on Spotlight gets triple or even quadruple rewards from it. So instead of you getting 5 best points from the highest boat, you get 20 in one go. And they could maybe even give them a good gauge on how they could rebalance it to kind of encourage people to do those minigames, because I like those minigames. I like doing those minigames in old school RuneScape because they actually feel rewarding and I actually need to get something from the minigame and it's actually useful. And obviously, you cannot really make those rewards useful anymore in RuneScape 3, but maybe make it something else. Like maybe make it like a little bit of a money maker, or, you know, make it so you can get something that helps you somewhere else, like reward enhancers, or maybe move some things from the dungeoneering shop, like reward enhancers, for example, to the minigames shops, for example, because you already have the zeal, like the overall arcing currency, so it doesn't matter which minigame you do, as long as you do one, you can buy from each shop. But maybe when people are more incentivized to actually do it, which obviously could be a whole video on its own, by an event like this, and maybe even make it a little bit too overpowered during an event like this, Jaggers could see what it needs and maybe like revitalize minigames that way. And as I said, lastly, clue scrolls. What if we get a clue scroll event? Not to increase drop rates, because I think that would be a little bit too powerful. But for example, what if we get a guaranteed step less on top of our totem, if you already have that, to make clues a little bit more quick? And also have increased drop rates for clue scrolls in general all across the game. So instead of at Helms, I believe it's 1 in 128 to get a drop rate. It's 1 in 64, for example, to get a clue scroll. So you kind of get more clues in the game, but you kind of like have you still need to solve them. So like obviously the pro cluers will benefit from this because they can stack more clues more quickly. But even so, I think like the actual clue hunters will just focus on getting as many clues as they can during an event like this, and then solve it off this event. But I think it would kind of like guarantee people to have like do more clue scrolls, and maybe even add in like some free puzzle skips every single day that you can just pick up, like maybe 10 free puzzle skips, because obviously an actual clue hunter can do like 150 hard clues a day, but someone who's new that might not be able to do like a couple of like more than 10 clues a day, they want to use puzzle skipping tickets because they either don't want to use odd one or they don't know about odd one, and it kind of can get people into clue scrolls, and they can kind of show them like, hey dude, you can actually like make a lot of money, and maybe even get like a free clue scroll, like a free couple of clue scrolls, depending on how many you sold. For example, each day at an NPC, kind of how you had that in old school RuneScape, where I think for a month's time you could pick up a random tier of clue scroll from this NPC. Maybe add something like that, and maybe even add droppable master clues during this event. So for example, you have the 1 in 64 chance with the increased drop rate at Hellhounds to get a hard clue, but maybe when you get a hard clue, you also have a chance of re-rolling that to a master clue at like a 1 in 5 rate or a 1 in 10 rate. You can encourage people to, you know, do more master clues, but also a better ability to gather them. But yeah, these are some of my ideas for possible event weeks that we can do within RuneScape. And I'm very curious to see what you guys think in this comment section down below. If you can still post a comment besides the banana bread about what you think, what kind of events week would you think would be sick for this video, and for this game. Do you like my ideas? Like, do you like want to tweak some of them? Let me just know, because I'm really curious, because I really like the event weeks, but we just kind of need some more variation on them besides just double experience, because it just gets really, really boring in my opinion. And at least I feel really forced to play during double experience, and that's a really bad thing. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. As I said, comment banana bread if you want to enter the bond giveaway. I will just do a randomizer, so you know, I'll pick someone at random. Subscribe if you're new. We're still on the road to that 1,000 subscribers, and that's when the giveaway will happen. Like the video, and my name's Chevalric, and see you guys in my next video.